K-Bear 92.3 Wild Country. We have guests in studio with us today from the Nebraska Grazing Lands Coalition, or actually I should say in studio and also virtually. And we've got Leah Peterson, who is the Executive Director of the Nebraska Grazing Lands Coalition. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Good to see you. And then also, I hope he can hear us as we do this. Jeff Nichols joins us. Jeff, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Jeff, tell me about your role with the Nebraska Grazing Lands Coalition.
Well, my role in Nebraska is I'm the state rangeland management specialist for the Natural Resources Conservation Service. And we just sit as a technical advisor on the Nebraska Grazing Lands Coalition board. And so I'm just here today to help Leah talk about the great tour that's being scheduled.
Well, let's jump right into that. Leah, the Cooksley Complex fire happened about a year ago, almost exactly. Recovery efforts have been good, and this is an opportunity for folks to learn how that happened.
That's right, Adam. The Nebraska Grazing Lands Coalition is comprised of a board of ranchers and landowners and technical advisors like Jeff, who work each year to provide good education statewide in Nebraska. And the National Grazing Lands Coalition made an opportunity for us to apply for, which was a grant to help with our annual grazing tour. We have one every year and have historically for a long time, and hadn't had one in this part of the state in a while. And out of tragedy comes good things. And so clear back last fall, as we were visiting as a committee, we were discussing where we could go and what we could do. And I threw out the idea that we could revisit the Cooksley Ranch and adjoining ranches equally impacted by that fire in April of 2023 and see what had happened, what had transpired since then, knowing already because of the family connections and friend connections that good things had come out of that fire. And in the moment when tragedy strikes, we are all invested in what has happened, but it's not often that you get to go take a look a whole year later and see actually out of those hard things also came a lot of good things. And so we decided we will have our annual grazing tour up at Anselmo this June.
Those dates are the 11th and 12th of June. Is that correct?
Correct. We're going to start things off in Brokobo on the 11th and watch a special screening of Ocean of Grass, which features many of the families affected by the Cooksley Complex Wildfire. And then all day June 12th is the tour.
Jeff, could you maybe talk a little bit about the opportunities that will be there on this tour to see some unique things that maybe haven't been a part of previous tours?
Well, great. As Leah mentioned, out of tragic situations, oftentimes we look for the silver lining that may be there. And that's one of the great things about this situation is a year later, we're going to be able to go back and just see how resilient the rangelands and grazing lands are here in the state of Nebraska to disturbances such as wildfire or hail or insect infestations and all those things. And so that's one of the things that is going to be great to be able to look at on this tour on the 12th of June is to see just how these rangelands have recovered from this event. And we're going to have several different scientists, resource professionals there to help lead some of this discussion, but also hear the stories from the landowners and how they persevered through this event. So one of the exciting things we're going to look at is we're going to have a rainfall simulator there on site. And what this allows us to do is demonstrate how healthy soils under rangelands and the vegetative plant community that is on top of that soil, how it helps protect the soil from rainfall events and things like that. And when that soil is in a healthy state and it has a good vegetative cover on it, how those soils will hold up to intense rainfalls and other types of disturbances. So that's going to be a neat demonstration that we have. And then there's going to be several other scientists there from UNL and that will be able to talk about different aspects of why these grazing lands are resistant to things like wildfire and other disturbances. So
Thank you, Jeff. And it's also a great opportunity to show off our part of the world, right, Leah?
Absolutely. One of the goals at the Grazing Coalition is not only to help educate those who are already doing good work on the soil, but reach out to those who are not familiar with why the rangelands in Nebraska are so important to all of us. And so we are very appreciative of the McGinn Ranch and the Cooksley Ranch to open their doors in hospitality to lawmakers and decision makers, people that need to understand the importance of funding our rural fire departments and those that respond to wildfire, as well as anyone who's interested in learning more about rangelands, managing invasive species like the eastern red cedar, and young and old. It's going to be a fun day, a day of community, and really to community and celebration, the recovery that has taken place, not just because of the good work that the landowners have done, but a gratitude for all of those who helped fight that fire and do the work to prevent further wildfire.
Leah, for more information on this upcoming tour or any other activities going on with the Nebraska Grazing Lands Coalition, where can we send people?
Absolutely. This is just to kick off a very busy summer. NebraskaGrazinglands.org is where you can find more information and register. Again, we got a grant to offset the cost of this event. So for $30, expect a wonderful fun-filled day with meals included, and good times to be had. But NebraskaGrazinglands.org, you can register today or call me or email me with additional questions.
Boy, it sounds like a cool opportunity. Are there any other opportunities or learning occasions coming up with Nebraska Grazing Lands Coalition?
Absolutely. We got a couple other grants to help us cover some of the costs associated with doing some wonderful education. So at Calamus Outfitters later in June, we'll have Ranching for Profit. This is a special class led by Dallas Mount for new and young producers ages 18 to 30. Maybe you're new back at the ranch or just getting started in life and you want to learn about how you can work things to be as profitable as possible, and that's always important so you can stay in business. And then we have a full-fledged grazing school led by Jeff and others who spend 3 full days focused in the great outdoors on how you can improve your personal grazing lands, and that'll be at the Spring Lake Ranch near Gordon. Again, all kinds of information at NebraskaGrazinglands.org, and we invite anybody in Nebraska or elsewhere to travel here to attend these wonderful workshops and events.
Jeff, did you have anything else you wanted to mention about those other learning opportunities or the summer tour?
Well, these are just both great opportunities for people to further their knowledge and education on managing the grazing lands resource that we have here in the state of Nebraska. As Leah mentioned, this is just so important for the economy of our state, and it's just great opportunities that they're providing to young and old and anybody that's interested in the grazing lands resource and improving their profitability. So just encourage anybody that's interested to check into the website and see how to get signed up for those events.
All right. Well, I want to thank you both, Leah Peterson, Jeff Nichols, with us today with the Nebraska Grazing Lands Coalition. Again, for more information, Leah, can you give us that website one more time?
Absolutely. NebraskaGrazinglands.org, and you'll find my email and phone number there. I'm happy to answer your questions.
June 11th and 12th. Those are the big dates for the Summer Grazing Tour. Thank you both. Appreciate it.